What's going on? What's poppin'? It's your boy GametimeBreakdowns. I got my meal bonnet on right now. Yeah, y'all niggas know what this mean. Yeah, I was on YouTube looking around searching, doing my due diligence. I saw something that was very interesting, right? So I saw a gay man giving advice to women. I clicked this thinking it was gonna be something, but man, let me let y'all judge for yourself. I don't think it was too bad, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched maybe like a few minutes of it, maybe like 3-4 minutes. But I'm gonna back up a little bit. And we're gonna go into it real quick. It's not shabby though, man. Yeah, I think he did a good job explaining some things.
If he does try to, test some boundaries, at least he finds out very quickly, no, not with me. So one of the first ways is how you establish your communication patterns with him. For a lot of you all, you're meeting people online, and that's perfectly fine. Rather it's through dating apps, rather it's through social media sites, wherever it may be, you're meeting people online. And so what that can do is that can create a scenario where you're constantly talking through phones or through like text messaging or DMs, and you're not putting as much pressure on him to experience time with you in person.
Don't nobody want to have pressure on them. I don't like pressure on me. No, don't pressure me with anything. I don't understand why this has to be like work. Then again, this ain't for me, so.
And this is so critical because a lot of you don't understand that your communication patterns with the man can often determine how or if he's going to try to test some boundaries with you. And so when it comes to dealing with the man, first of all, keep text messaging and DMs to a minimum. I don't care if you all met through jumping in each other's DMs or through a dating site or anything like that. You need to let him know very early on, I'm not really much of a phone or texting person, but I would love to get together with you. Let me know when you're available. Or set that standard for him. I'm not really much of a phone or texting person, so excuse me if there's a lot of delays in me responding to you. You need to make it very clear, we're not gonna be doing this whole text situation. In order to get access to you, he has to give time for you.
Yeah, but see, that's only not gonna work whatsoever. I don't think that's gonna work at all. Because if dude like you, then yeah, he'll give you, if he has a time available, then he's gonna give it if he likes you. To me, that's just common sense, right? If you gotta put pressure on a dude and go through all these hoops and bounds and freaking circus tricks just to make him give you some attention, then you already lost the game already. The game is already over. Okay, it's finito. Don't if the man texts you and then y'all do a couple texts and then you say, hey, I'm not too much of a text person, but you really are a texting person, it's really gonna bother you more, and you're gonna want to text him back. But let a chick tell me I'm not really too much of a phone/text person. Cool. Hey, cool. That's not gonna make me want to be more involved with you. That's gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be thinking, you know what? That's kind of on my steed. That's kind of on my level right there. That I can work with, because that means I ain't gotta. I can. You can. That means you can send me a text at 2 p.m. I ain't gotta answer you back until about 7, 8, 9, 10, whenever, because it shouldn't matter to you then. And when I do send that text, right around 10 o'clock or whatever, I'm just responding back to what you said earlier, or maybe I'm responding back to what you said earlier, and I'm engaging in a newer conversation, right? And if you get upset and look at the joint and you don't answer me back at all, or you basically tell me I don't think you have the available time that I may need, but you just told me you wasn't a phone or text person. That's why I find it. I don't think his advice is bad. It's bad. Nah, it's not. It's not good because it's more or less of you chasing down the man. You shouldn't have to chase dude down. You shouldn't have to play all these games, bro, just to get the dude to like you. Like,
he needs to make time for you. And one of the best ways to see, is a man truly interested in you, and does he even have space in his life for you, is can he make time for you? Anybody can pull out his phone and just do a quick text message. That's not hard. Anybody can do that at any point in time. But can you set aside a Saturday evening for me? Can you set aside a Thursday afternoon with me? Can you set that time aside for me? And the reason why this is so important is because he won't value you unless he has to make some type of time sacrifice in order to be with you.
False. False. That is super false. All men are not a monolith. I learned that word from watching these podcasts. If I'm using it correctly, it's basically meaning that all men are not the same, right? So maybe he's talking about a specific type of guy, but right now I don't care about that. Everything that he's pretty much saying, I'm gonna relate it back to how I feel. Now, how I feel, maybe I'm just a different type of individual, and maybe he is giving sound advice. Maybe his advice is great for the world. And this is how the world really acts. Me personally, I don't really know how the world really acts because I'm not really depending or thinking about the world per se. I like to stay in my own bubble, you know. I know what's going on out there, but do I really care? No, no, no.
So when he's doing all that texting and stuff like that, first of all, text back slowly. Do not text back too quickly. This is not about playing games. It's about setting a certain power dynamic in place.
How is that not playing games? And setting a power that what is this? What is this, Game of Thrones? Are we gonna meet in the garden and have a conversation? Are we doing diabolical plots too at the same time? Like, nah, so is this what's going on? It is, yo, are women really, is this how y'all really getting down? This is where y'all getting y'all advice from? Right here? Can't, yeah, let me maybe I'm overly reacting. Like I said, I was talking about me the whole time, so maybe I'm overly reacting. Let me guy finish.
That if you want to get access to me, we need to be able to do it in person. Now, I would never say that to a man like, oh, I don't like this text, take me out. Don't say nothing like that. That's crazy. You're going to push him away. Mm-hmm. What you do is you text back slowly, and then you just say, hey, I'm not much of a phone person. I tend to like conversations more in person because I get so busy and overwhelmed that I don't check my phone very often, right? Then that puts the earnest on him to be able to say, oh, well, when are you available? And then when you're with him, what you need to do is you have to give him an experience that makes him truly value that time together. It needs to be pleasant, it needs to be warm, it needs to be all those things. Now, here's the key. When you're with him and you're talking to him and you're talking about your life, I've said this before in my videos, but I want to dig deep into this because this can get you played if you don't act right, if you don't handle this the right way. When you're with him and communicating with him, never, ever, 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 ever tell him about all the bad things that your ex did. He does not need to hear about how this person played games and how men do this and men do that, and you just looking for somebody who's finally ready to settle down because you're tired of the games, you're tired of this. No, because remember this. A man is always going to try to do better than whatever he thought the last person did. So
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Honestly, I don't care what the last dude did. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not him. Now, what I do say is, don't judge me off of your last guy. So just because the last guy did that, don't look at me and think I'm gonna do the same things that he did, because I'm not. Okay, if anything, it's a possible case. It might be even worse. So don't even put yourself in that position to think I'm gonna do this and then I go do this, and it really messes your head up. So no, don't do that. And at the very same time, if you wanna talk to me about your last relationship problems and how this guy did you so bad, I got ears. I'll listen. I'm saying, I confide in me. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear every little last thing that dude did to you. Let me know, okay? Because as soon as I understand what triggers you, well, we'll leave that for a different conversation, shall we?
So the last person, if you tell them that the last person was always, playing games, not texting back very quickly, not doing this, not doing whatever it may be, then he's going to see, oh, so all I have to do is just better than the last person. So you set the bar really low. So when you're with him, one of the best ways to get a man to operate at a high level with you is to make him feel like the ones who came before him performed exceptionally.
Nope. Wrong again. Wrong. Because if that man performs so exceptionally, why are you not still with him? Because now I'm thinking, well, what's wrong with you? Because if he was such a great guy and he was just fantastic, but for some strange reason, y'all didn't work out. So now I'm thinking like, oh, okay, Probably something wrong with you. Are you one of them chicks that just look really, really good on the outside, but on the inside you're just a horrible, mean person? Is that you? What's going on underneath that foundation, behind them lashes? You know what I'm saying? Behind that clear mascara. What's popping over there? That's how I'm gonna feel. So it's dangerous advice. Dangerous.
I'm serious about this. I'm not saying lie, but what I'm saying is if you're in a relationship,
Lie. Come on, bro. Like they're gonna lie. Like they're not that intelligent to not lie about it. So they're gonna lie, and they're gonna get caught in the lie. But the cool thing about when a female lied to me, I don't let it even be known. For what? What was the point? There's no point to me to let it be known. All right, because at that point in time, I got a few decisions that I'm going to make. One, I'm going to continue this and do what I want to do with it, and then when I'm done, move on to the next. Or two, I'm going to be like, is it worth it? The common sense in me is going to be like, nah, it's not worth it. Let's just move on. But if I've had a few drinks with her, then I'm probably going to feel like it's worth it in the moment. But that post-nut, man, will sure change everything. Everything. It's going to change everything. But that's not.
Relationship with someone before him or multiple people before him, even though you may think that person was so horrible or whatever, sometimes we make a mistake of we define a person's overall character or our overall experience with the person based on how that relationship ended. I'm saying let's not focus on the bad parts of that person. Let's focus on the parts of that person that actually worked, because there clearly were good things about that person or you wouldn't have been with them. So when you're talking about your exes and things like that, you have to talk about the good traits. Oh, he was amazing. He was this, he did that, he did the other. You may even throw in little gentle things about, yeah, I remember on Christmas, I always look forward to Christmas with him because he gave me the best gifts, and so on and so forth. You have to make him feel like he's competing with that invisible man that he doesn't see. That's one of the most powerful ways to get the best out of a man, is when he feels like there's some other form of competition somewhere else. Even if that competition is the man that came before him. So you have to speak very highly of your exes so that he understands what came before him, and therefore he can give you even better. And how this taps into the whole idea of not letting a man play you is this. It's like I said, men will often do whatever they can get away with. Think about, I'm not trying to say that men are like kids, okay? But think about like with your kids, right? They're going to test boundaries on a subconscious level. They don't even know that they're testing the boundaries, but they will. Humans do that in general. So if he feels like there are no boundaries there, then he has a wide open space to test boundaries.
That's anybody. That's anything. That's like a chick asking the dude for $500 and he give it just for no reason. She gonna ask again. She might go ask a little bit more. She might want to get her rent paid and the car payment. You know what I'm saying? Like that's with anybody.
And you see this all the time. You see that the way that a man treats one woman is completely different than how he treats another woman. He may treat this one woman like she barely nothing to him, but treats this other woman like she's amazing, like she's gold, like she's something.
Maybe because he actually liked that one. Okay. There's been this thing that I've been seeing across the internet, and they've been asking the question, do men really like women, like them actually as individuals, or do they just only like them for the box? And a lot of women are saying that men only like them for the box. And I would ask, well, what kind of men are you dealing with? Because I like to be around women. I mean, box is cool. Box is just a plus, actually, because like just being around a woman, it's a beautiful thing, right? Having it my way. If I'm working, I would rather work around beautiful women. Point blank, period. If I could play the game, I would rather have a woman right beside me while I'm playing, eating, watching TV, whatever. I like to be around beautiful women, and beautiful to me isn't like this bad B scenario, like this overly baddie type of chick. You know what I'm saying? I look at women differently anyway, right? Because I guess on the outside you can look very, very pretty, but then you start talking and I immediately find you ugly now. And you still look okay, but you don't look as good as you used to. But then again, like you could be another chick, like she's to the world standard, she might not look that pretty, but she start talking and I like a conversation, then all of a sudden, you know what? You look different now. And different can mean so many different things, but for me, it means I now found you more attractive. So no, I don't. Me personally, I do think men like women besides just having the box. Why did I even get there? I forgot. Play the video.
Something special. What's the difference? It often comes down to how that woman has set up the dynamic with him to let him know what is allowed and what's not allowed. And so when it comes to this, what you have to recognize is that with these men, you have to set a standard with them to let them know that this is what I expect based on how I've been treated before you, based on what I've been, what I'm accustomed to. You know, you can even set the stage around this subliminally by saying, you can ask him, for example, I know a lot of people say negative things about their exes, and I'm sure that there were some negative things, but what did you like so much about her? Like, what with your ex? Tell me some good things about her, right? Bam. He's going to talk to you about it. And then you say, why do I want to know about his ex? You don't really care about his ex. You're setting the stage so that you can then share about yours. He like, well, and then
you see, this is disingenuous. This is so disingenuous. And the thing about that is, like, a man that understands people, not just women, but people, is going to know that you're being disingenuous. Body language is everything. And I say it all the time. Yeah, the eyes never lie. Okay, you can't change the way the eye looks. The eyes can't smile, can't grin, can't look sad. Well, I guess they kind of can't look sad in a way, but they never really lie. Everything that he's saying to me, I think is good advice for someone who is wanting to play a video game, who's looking to gain material, who's looking to gain only what they want, and looking to cultivate and create the impossible man that they're never going to get, and stay in the world of delusion. Because this is I don't think this will. I'm not saying what he's saying won't get you a relationship. Yeah, it possibly could. Is it going to be the one that you probably should be in? I would say 100% no. No. It's going to end bad. It's going to end horrible, because like it's so much work, yo. Like, dating and being in relationships is supposed to be fun. You work, you go through life achieving things to be a moderately average or more successful human being. And then when you go out and date and want to be with someone else, it's post, because that's what we're here for. People need people. But all this just seems like more work. Why go out there and work more? Like, what are we doing? If you gotta do all that just to be with somebody, man, all right, man, no, I'm good, bro. That is insane. Ah, man. But nonetheless, if this is the advice that women are taking, if this is the advice that y'all are taking, I would say keep taking it. Go ahead. Keep doing it, so we can stay out here and all right, I'm done.